Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Comic Book Users. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Cover. It's Horror Day, alongside Mr. Wild Bill.
Hello, comic book fans. Let's get right into it.
That's
Dead of
right.
Night,
Dead of
issue
Night.
number 9. Awesome John Romita cover.
Yeah.
Totally awesome.
And of course, you know, what they did was with these Dead of Night books and a lot of these other horror anthology books is they would put like a brand new cover on stories from like 15, 20 years before. Yeah. So this is all like
stories from the 50s.
Stories from the 50s, right? And a very cool Romita cover.
And they tell you right in a little footnote right in there.
Yep. Marvel Tales 110.
It's a Stan Lee story, the first story. There's 4 stories in this. They're all reprints. I just bought this at the Clifton Con last year, March of 2022. But the first story is, it's about a mob boss who's sitting on a bus and he's going after a guy. So this old guy gets on the bus and wants to sit down next to this tough thug who turns out to be a mob boss. And the guy's like, "Oh, you're a cop." And the old guy's like, "No, I'm not a cop." He's like, "I just want to sit down." He's like, "Well, you can talk." He puts a gun to his head. See that panel? Where is that? Just put the gun to his head.
Yeah, right here. To his cheek.
And he's like, "You can talk all you want."
The guy looks like a ghoul. Look at him, jeez.
So the old guy's like, "All right, I'll tell you a story. It's a story about a guy sitting on a bus on a rainy night, just like tonight." And the guy, he tells the old man, he tells the mobster, he's like, "There's a story about a mob boss who took a bus ride to catch up with a man who ran away from him on the lam, so to speak." And the mob boss catches up with the guy and he's gonna go kill the guy for leaving. You know, that's the only way you get out of the mob is you die.
And this is a great line here. It says, "A man who had a gun in his pocket, murder in his heart, and a date with destiny."
So the old man, this is like so Twilight Zone. Man. You gotta love it, man. So the old man starts telling a story about how the mob boss, on a rainy night, gets off at a particular bus stop, finds the guy that he's looking for, and here he is. He catches him. But the guy tells the mob boss, I'm going straight, I'm getting married. That's why I took off. You know, you'll never have any problems from me. And, of course, the mob boss doesn't want to hear it. The only way you get out of this, you're going to get killed. That's how you get out of this. You
got too many secrets, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a struggle with the gun. And the gun goes off, and the mob boss is the one who gets shot. He's the one that takes it. And he dies at the scene. He gets off the bus, and ironically, that's exactly what happened to the real mob boss. And then the bus driver talks about, yeah, that guy was a creep. I'm glad he got off the bus, you know? And that's pretty much it. It's a weird story. How the old man on the bus tells the mobster a story, and it basically unfolds and turns out to be the destiny of the criminal mob boss. So there you have it.
Do they show how he dies?
Well, he got shot.
Oh, okay. I think it's the page before.
So he gets off the bus. Right? He gets off here.
Gets off the bus. Oh, so he gets off the bus, and then the same couple get on the bus. So basically, it
went down that way because they get on a bus. Right?
How weird is that? So,
they drive away.
So the old guy basically told him what was going to happen.
Like a fortune teller.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's pretty neat the way they do that. They didn't have to show anything.
It's weird. Yeah, it's so abrupt.
Yeah.
You know. But the next story is Sasek the Sorcerer, and this story is by Jack Kirby and Dick Ayers.
Ayers, yeah.
Okay, Dick Ayers. And this story is about a guy named Boris Grum. He's a producer of violent shows. And he lines his pockets with these horrible stories. And it caused a lot of controversy. Because you know how in the days they say if you put something violent on TV, people in society are going to act violent? And that's what's going on with this guy. The networks are starting to tell him, hey man, you need to tone it down a little bit because everyone in the city's caused... Crime has gone up since your violent shows have hit the air. And the guy's like, yeah, but we're making money. You know, I need more violent, vulgar stories. We're not hard enough. Basically, we're not tough enough. And they're like, dude, you need to chill. So the network cancels him, and he's like, I'll take care of this. He wants to do like a play. So what he does is he goes to the library to get some ideas to steal, you know, tweak them, and he finds this book on sorcery, Zasek the Sorcerer.
Total Kirby dragon creature there. Right?
So he starts reading up on this guy who lived in the 15th century, and Zasek the Sorcerer used to use his power to control battles and stuff, and he became like a very powerful figure in the 1500s. He was the man. I guess he was like the evil Merlin, Zasek. So this guy's reading the book, Boris Grum, and he's getting all these ideas, and he starts to mention Zasek's name, and Zasek shows up and is like, who summoned me? And the guy's like, where'd you come from? And Sasek's like, you're the one who summoned me, moron. You should know what's going on. He's like, you know what? You waked me from my eternal sleep, so I'm going to banish you to the netherworld. And the guy's like, no, no. And meanwhile, he gets banished, right? He goes into another dimension, and Sasek's like, I can go to sleep now. Now, meanwhile, all of this guy's props and all the evil shit that he had on the set, it all disappears when Boris Grum gets teleported to the netherworld. So there's no trace of him. He's not in his office at the studios, and they go to his apartment and they can't find him, and they're like, well, I hope we never see him again. And that's kind of like the end. He vanishes. Kind of weird story.
Yeah, yeah.
It's again another story about greed, how it doesn't pay.
They do a lot of that.
And how it's going to come back to bite you in the ass, or in this case, send you to the netherworld. He basically awoke into sorcerer, an evil genie, you could say. It's like an evil genie story.
Yeah,
you know,
pretty much.
He doesn't get any wishes, you know. He's just banished. So the third story is called "They Melt at Night." So in this story, you see people driving cars and they're starting to melt. Like, get out of the car! It's melting. What the hell's going on? Well, there's like this evil chemist. This guy was like an inventor, and of course, nobody wanted the company, of course, didn't want to take him on, give him a raise, whatever. And he's like, I'll fix your wagon. So he develops this corrosive chemical that can melt cars, and what he does is he also comes up with the antidote. And he's going to try and use it to make money off people, you know, like create a problem and have a solution. Right? Sound familiar, Bill Gates? So, what he does is he takes this fluid, this corrosive fluid, and he goes to the gasoline refineries and he puts it in the lines so that when people go to get gas, the corrosive material is in the car, and then the cars start melting. And then people come running up to him because he's got the solution. People come, hand him cash, fistfuls of cash. I need the antidote. I need the antidote. So he's got all this
rich
money.
Quick scheme, yeah, right.
He's got all this money. He's all happy. He's throwing the money into the air, and then the money lands on the table and hits some of that corrosive acid, and his money burns away. Talk about ironic justice there, huh?
Of course it does.
And he's like, what the fuck? You know? Meanwhile, this is the last page. Some guy came looking for him. And some guy wants to help him. But when he lost all his money, he had a change of heart. Now he just wants to be involved with science projects that benefit mankind. And that's how it ends. So he kind of is spared a terrible fate. Because he, kind of like Ebenezer Scrooge.
Learns his lesson, right?
Yeah, he saw the light, you know. So once he got his money burned away, he changed. He got straightened out. So
I'm sure had that money not gone up in smoke, it would have been changing.
No. So he's one of them rare few characters that gets away, kind of, you know. And then there's this last story called The Sudden Storm, which is basically there's a flood coming and these people are like, you need to evacuate. And they're like, no, we'll be all right. And it turns out at the very end, it's a massive flood, and they happen to be, it's Noah and his wife, and they get away with Noah's Ark at the bottom. kind of a real short story.
3-page story.
Yeah, not even. Yeah. 3-page, and I did it in about 3 seconds. So, I was going to spare you the details on that one, but the cover, Dead of Night. A series that went 11 issues, bi-monthly book, and John Romita did a lot of the covers. He did issue number 1. He did a lot of the covers on these, but this, I think, is fantastic, this cover.
Yeah, well, Grim Reaper's always good, right?
Yeah, perfect. So there you have, inside the cover, Dead of Night number 9. Hope you enjoyed it, and please click the like button, and we thank you for your subscriptions and your support and your comments, and as always, we'll see you here next time on Comic Book Geezers. Pete's got something coming up.
Yeah, more horror for you. We're going to go inside the cover, Eerie number 45, another cool Warren horror magazine. So stay tuned for that.
Part of your recent haul, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Cool.
So more horror, always
like
more horror.
Scary.
Yeah. That's right. So stay tuned for that. For Wild Bill, I am Pete. We'll see you real soon here on Comic Book.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.